Mohit Nakra, and in this tutorial I'll be talking about draping of trousers and that to demo of straight pants. You can also try other patterns keeping the same block measurement as per given in the slide, but I will be showing you the straight pants demo. Let's get started with the taking three important measurements: center front to hip, which is the first one. Second is center back to hip, and the crotch depth with the help of the L scale the way I'm taking. We'll cut two block of muslin by measuring length as desired plus 2 inches and width 19 inches. Now we will take our first marking 4 inches away from the center front and then make a parallel line uh, to the center front towards the lengthwise grain. Now we will take our first marking, which is 2 inches from the top for our waist draping. Then the second marking I am taking is 13 inches, which is my crotch depth, and adding 1.5 inch ease or a drop ease as per the fit of my pants. I'm making loose pants, so I'm taking 1.5 inch drop. If you're making fitted pants, then you can take 1/4 inch as well. Then I'm taking another marking, which is 7 inches from the waist draping line, and make a perpendicular line, which is my hip line. So I have made two lines right now. One is hip line and one is the crotch depth line, which is perpendicular on the lengthwise grain line. Okay, so these are the two things which I have done right now. Okay, so from waist to hip line it's 7 inches, and from waist to crotch depth it is 13 plus 1/4. Okay, now I have also done a cross mark on the hip line, which is a measurement for my center front to the hip line, which I've taken it on the dress form, which was 9 inches, and I've given 1/4 inch of an ease in that. All right. Now we will measure from hip, from side seam to center front hip line, and do 1/4 part of that measurement. Basically 9 divided 9 inches, 9 1/4 divided into 4 parts, and the part which we will get, we will mark it on the crotch length towards the other side, which is going to be a crotch extension point, and do a cross mark over there. From that cross mark, draw a parallel line to the center front line, which is going to be your inseam line, and then from the crotch point, which is the joining point, from there you take 2 inches cross mark diagonally, make a line, and then with the help of French curve, draw a smooth curve which is going to pass through all these 3 points from hip to the crotch extension point. Now you are going to take seam allowances, which is basically towards the side seam and the inseams it is going to be 1 inch, and at the crotch curve it is going to be 1/4 inch. I will gonna taper it while cutting it. I have taken it 1 inch right now, even the crotch curve, but I will taper it eventually. Now I will be following the same procedure at the back, but the difference is going to be the distance, the parallel distance which I am going to take. I will going to mark 6 inches away, whereas in front I have taken it 4 inches away from the center front. For back I am going to take 6 inches away and make a parallel line. Do a 2 inch drop for the waist curve. mark my crotch depth, which is going to be 13 plus 1 by 4th, and 7 inches for my hip line. Okay, make these perpendicular lines to the less lengthwise grain, basically over a cross grain. Label them, and then you will mark your from center back to the side hip curve, which we have taken, which was 9.5, and add 1/4 inch of an ease, and take half of that measurement for your center back crotch extension point and make a parallel line. Now I am gonna measure from center waist to the crotch depth and take a half cross mark. Since we have a 1/4 inch of a drop, it is going to be 7 1 by 4, and from there, from the waist mark, I'm gonna take another cross mark which is 3/4 inch away and join it with that cross mark below the hip line. After that, we are going to take a 2 inch away from the crotch point, the diagonal line, the way we did it in the front. Join that line, and with the help of French curve, you need to just align these 3 points in a smooth curve, and you need to juggle with the placement of it so that you get a perfect nice curve over there. And you can also true it later on by blending it by your hand. Now the best part, our markings are almost done, the blocking markings are done. We just need to take our seam allowances for the crotch and pin the inseams of center front and center back together, which you will see further. Once the inseam pinning is done, we're going to start draping it on the dress form. We will put pins over the hip level point. We're going to match it on the dress form and the waist point at the waistline. The same thing we will do at the back hip level point at the center back and the waist center back. Okay, these things we will do first, and then we will pin the side seam hip point. We will do that because we need to see if we want to taper the bottom a little more, if we want tapered pants, if we are making straight pants, how we need to create the fall over there. And for the waist darts to shape, that will only happen once the hip level is aligned. Now we are going to mark our dart legs, basically the dart points. We will take the dart intake. You can make 2 darts, you can make gathers, you can make pegs, you can vary it with whatever you want to as per the design. You can also take a longer pleat also. You don't need to also take a dart. You can take longer pleat and start taking the cross marks the way we do usually. Cross marks over the dart legs, vanishing point towards the bottom of the dart, the waist marking and the hip marking. The same thing we will do at the back. We will take our dart intake and clip it. Also we will take our markings, the cross marks over the dart, the waist dotted marking and the side hip marking till the hip level. Since making a straight pants, I'm not going to take the entire marking towards the hem, but if you are making tapered pants or a narrow pants or something like that, you will need to take a little cross marking for front and back, the kind of fit you want it from the side. Also, the inseam variation will also happen, because I have dropped it straight because I'm making a straight pants. But if you are making a tapered pants, then your inseam will also taper and your outer seam is also going to taper to come align, because the lengthwise grain is going to be straight and it's not going to shift. After taking the cross mark, I'm going to remove it from the dress form and lay it flat so that I can start drawing my pattern. In this, what I'm doing, I'm dropping the perpendicular line straight from the hip end point, and I'm going to match my dotted marks with the waist curve to get a nice waist curve at the side seam. Okay, join the dart legs and then through the dart from the waist to get the right notch over there. And after getting the right notch, I'm going to take the seam allowances. The same procedure I'm going to repeat and in the back as well. If you see in this, I'm aligning it from the hip point front and back, and then I'm going to do my back markings over here, because this is how the curves of the crotch match, and then we do the rest of the contour. Okay, so you have to match the hip level point front and back, and then do the rest of your drawing work. And then simply mark your seam allowances, and then you have to pin your side seams front and back together to form it a complete trouser. Okay. Now the pinning is done. Now I'm going to take it over the dress form and see how the fit and the hang of the dress fit is. Okay, and this is how it looks like. I hope you will try after this more variations, maybe pegs, or maybe add pleats in that, or panels, or anything. Thank you.